Hello. Oh, you want to swing the
Okay, first of all, that fire was right on top of your head, so it looked like that you were burning to death. Yeah, we gotta scoot this way. There we go. Hi! Now we look very Christmassy. And like we have a real live set behind us, even though we don't. It still looks like you're a little bit on fire. It still looks like you have a heartburn. Heartburn, indigestion, diarrhea. Let's scoot over a little bit more. Ready? Go. And I'll try it. It's gonna have to work. It's gonna have to work.
No, you just come just a touch more, and we'll be there.
That don't feel good. All right, well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Radke Show. Why don't you introduce us?
So good to be here this morning. My name's David Radke. This is Melissa. So good to be with you.
And this show's gonna be exciting, even though when he introduced us, it made me think that it was gonna be the most boring thing of all. Pep it.
Rip, ring, ding, 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 ding.
That reminded me of Nard Dog on The Office and how yesterday somebody...
Ring, ding, 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 ding. Ring, ding, ding.
Okay, he's never done that. But it made me think of Nard Dog and how yesterday on here someone said that their least favorite character on TV was Nard Dog.
I can't believe that.
And Broccoli Rob? What in the world? Well, good morning, everybody. You're telling us where you're from. That's really great. Mary Lopez says, I think it's hilarious that the commercials on your live have all been Mormon this week for me. What? What are they up to? What are they up to? We had a live last night. So for those of you who are watching and you don't, let me just give you a little bit of background. So David and I are part of a membership community that you can be a part of called the Radke family. And so sometimes on here, I will talk directly to the Radke family, or I'll talk about them, mostly about them. And that's just what I'm referring to. Okay. We had a live last night in the Radke family. And that means we went to the Melissa Radke app and I just went live. And it was just me in bed with my UTI, talking to my daughter and then washing my face and then saying goodnight. I mean, that's all it was, but we were just talking. And, you know, the time difference in Salt Lake City from Texas is different. And so one of our Mormon friends said, hey, Melissa, we're about to sit down and eat turkey noodle soup, which grossed me out. And she said, can you pray over our meal? David, that was classic comedy right there. That was classic comedy.
The prayer or the turkey noodle soup?
The prayer. That was so good. It was like this. Okay, I said, okay, I'm going to pray. Let your family hear this. And she said, okay. So she turned me up where the whole family could hear it. And then I prayed a prayer I believe any good Mormon would pray, because I've seen Under the Banner of Heaven, so I know how they talk. And it was like this: Dear God, and you made all the creatures great and small. And you made Mama and Daddy, and they are wonderful, and this family is wonderful as well. Please bless this food and also help us later tonight when really late into the night Daddy tries to kill Mama. And please help the murders that are going to go down in this house and help us to escape so that later on we can point the finger at our dad but tell him that we've forgiven him in our hearts. It was that kind of thing. Because as y'all know, Mormons just keep showing up and killing people. And we finished the prayer and my Mormon friend, Amy Roberry, I thought she would say, Melissa, you are horrible. She said, amen. Amen.
I gotta say a couple of things. If we disappear, it's because Melissa used a word spelled backward, Dellik.
Dillick.
Which you said that word before and an algorithm heard it.
Dillick.
And literally you were banned from a social media app for months and we lost thousands and thousands of dollars.
Do you think that could happen now
on
YouTube? Which I have heard is like the wild, wild west of social media.
I don't know, but I just don't think you should say those words that could be in an algorithm and a robot hears it. like a person could hear your jest. Even as we're talking about our Mormon friends, we're speaking in jest.
In jest, robot.
But they hear certain words and they just go, no.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you this. If people can put together pipe BOMBSs and show you how to do it on here, and they can help you map out how to steal the national treasure from the White House.
I think those things are frowned upon.
Okay? Then they better keep me on. Or I'm going to tell you this, I'm going to go savage.
Savage?
We'll be fine. We'll be
Ratchet.
fine. Just say unalive.
I am very surprised that, as well as
I think the biggest...
Amy knows you, that she turned it where her family could hear it. I'm very surprised.
I am too. I think the biggest thing is that we don't talk to the robots or the algorithm bots. We talk to maybe the listening Mormons who are like, I'm new here and what the heck. I would just like to make a statement. Hi, I'm Melissa Radke, and I am a fan of the Mormons. Many Mormon people follow me, and they have for a very long time. I find them to be smart, mostly blonde, and very well-intentioned. My husband is hurting me, and I would like to give a distress signal. But I also find that Mormons unalive each other sometimes when they fall out of love. And I don't understand why that happens. Do evangelicals do it? Yes, all the time, but people expect us to. But nobody expects y'all to because you're not on the caffeine. And sometimes caffeine makes you act out. But y'all aren't on it. So what's the deal, man? The end. David looked nervous when you said you were going to make a statement. That's half of his life. It's him getting nervous at what I'm going to say.
Do you want to know why I'm nervous? Because I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to feel it just a little bit. Just a touch.
What?
Did you see my hand?
Yeah. You're going to tell him what you did last night?
So the last couple of days, I told you there was one day over the holiday that it was like I was in a coma. I slept the entire day. But something on Monday night or Sunday night and Monday night, I don't know, 5, 6 o'clock, I kind of get this little second wind. Mm-hmm. And
yeah, he's old. Yeah, he's old.
But so I've been working later, and my mind is just kind of spinning or whatever. And so last night I thought, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take my vitamins and all that kind of good stuff. I'm also going to go lay down. And so this was like at 8:45. Now, I knew we'd probably watch the show, and we did watch the show. And Melissa's starting to doze off, and then suddenly things just start coming in my mind.
Like what kind of things? Like voodoo?
Voodoo, no. Well, like there was something I was going to forward to Remy. I thought she'd be interested in it. Normally, I just go, thought you might like this, boop, send it. I wrote like 4 paragraphs about how much I love her, and I know she's got a lot on her plate, and I mean, just this. Then I laid there, and today at 11 o'clock, is the trade deadline for fantasy football.
Oh, well.
So if there's going to be a trade, it's got to be. So I went through every team, looked at all of their players. Do I need them? Would that help me? Would that help me? Okay, what could I give them that would make sense? 12 teams. How many's on there? Like 17, 18 on each team.
I will say this. I will say
wide
this.
awake. Okay.
Let me say this. So I took some AZO before I went to bed last night. And one of the things that, as you know, if you've ever had an infection like this, it makes you think that a bladder infection makes you think you have to pee all the time, even though you don't. So I kept getting up throughout the night to use the bathroom. And every time I got up, 12:15, he's awake. 1:45, he's awake. 3:20, he's awake. So at 3:20, I get back in the bed and I said, Do you remember what I said?
What time is it?
What time is it right now?
I said 3:50.
And I said, turn that phone off. David, that is ridiculous. And then I just went right back to sleep. So I knew he was up, but I just thought he was just being stupid. See, ladies, sometimes it's hard, isn't it, with our husbands? Because we just think they're being dumb. And we just think that they're just like looking at, fast cars and movie stars. And that's what I thought was going on.
I don't know. I was replying to emails. I'm going to have to go back and check. There's no telling what I wrote. So when you told me that, I'm like, okay, I just have to lay here. I just got to close my eyes. I just got to slow down. And I laid there, I know, wide awake, just trying to slow my mind for an hour. So I figure about 5 o'clock, I finally kind of dozed off. Not a real deep sleep, but sort of dozed off. And then our alarm goes off at 5:25 for us to go to the gym. So it wakes me back up. To which Melissa said, I did not sleep good.
I was up all night long.
Let's don't go today. And I went, okay. So I turned it off and I thought I'll go back to sleep.
You can make this long story.
My mind started
shorter.
going again. I actually got up, went to the office, I started working. Did we ever tell them why?
Okay, first of all, it's not like our office is across town. You need to nullify it. You need to liquefy this.
Did we tell them why this happened?
No, I'm like, get to the punch, hon.
So see what had happened was, in my rush to grab my multivitamins and all that kind of good stuff and get to bed, I accidentally grabbed my ADHD medicine.
Man, I was just about to yell it out so fast. I thought you were never going to get to it. I was going to be an ambulance chaser there for a second and be like, he took his ADHD medicine! He won't get to the story! Which is funny because he's been talking so dang fast for the last 8 hours. But now he's like, and so what had happened was... So there it is. That is the story. They're still caught on why I said liquefy. If something is solid, he needs to liquefy it.
And nullify means to make it like it never happened.
Then you need to nullify last night. You need to nullify it. Y'all, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make him take a nap. And then I'm going to get him up because he's got to be raring to go because tonight in Lufkin is the waffle bake. It's the waffle bake. It's the waffle bake. In a small town, sometimes they will have something called the Rotary Club Waffle Bake. And you will go and you will get all the waffles that you can eat and little pig sausage, little pigs in them, little smoky sausages. And you can have orange juice or chocolate milk.
It's regular sausage, but the pigs, they were miniature.
Well, don't tell me that. Anyway, that's tonight. And so last night, Jeremy and Janet called, well, I shouldn't say who. Anyway, our best friends called us and they were like, hey, I heard you have got a story to tell us. And I said, yes, I do. And they said, well, tell us now. We're on the phone. We're together in the car. Tell us. And I said, I'm not going to tell y'all on the phone. I've got to see your face when I tell you this story. And we're going to do it tomorrow night at the Waffle Bake. And they're like, oh, yes, let's go to the Waffle Bake. So now we're all going to the Waffle Bake so we can tell each other our hot topic stories.
It's actually really, it's nothing.
It's really cute.
It's nothing fancy, but it's very.
And there's a piano in there, and sometimes a person will go up and just play. And one year they were like, I'll play if Melissa will sing.
It's very cool just because a lot of the community gets together. Is it 2 nights or 3 nights?
It's 2 nights.
2 nights. Last night and tonight. But yeah, and it raises money for the Rotary Club, like you said, and so it's cool.
Yeah. I'm excited about it. I know I'm not going to tell you all the hot topic story. You wouldn't even know the people we're talking about. So anyway, that's going to be fun. That's the Waffle Bake tonight. But y'all, enough of that. Today is We're Here For You Wednesday. And if you're just now watching the Radke show and you don't know what we're talking about, I got something caught in my tooth last night. I don't know what it was, but I had something. And I went and flossed it. Okay? Y'all are going to love this logic. I went and flossed it. David and I were watching the TV show. I didn't floss it in the bed. I flossed it in the bathroom. When I came back in, I just kept going like this. Okay? David looked over at me, and I'm like this with my finger, trying to get it out. I couldn't get it out. Oh my gosh, I think I know I brushed my teeth this morning. I think it's still there. Anyway, so I say to David, he gets up, he's gonna go get him some water. And I said, hey, can you bring me back 2 Oreos? I gotta eat this thing out of here. And David goes, I'm sorry, what? But that's true sometimes. You know how you'll eat something and it'll dislodge it. Am I the only one that knows? Am I the only one that knows about this trick? So I said, could you bring me back 2 Oreos? I gotta eat this thing out of here. But I didn't.
Never heard that.
It works. It works.
And I like the fact that you go to the bathroom, you have floss, tiny floss gets in between your teeth. That doesn't get it. But you think, I'm going to take my finger, and that's going to...
What should be on the shirt? I got to eat this thing out of here? That sounds terrible. That's not going on a shirt, okay? What should be on the shirt? I can't get this thing out of my tooth. I don't know what to do. All right.
You know what? We could come up with some incredible shirts for, like, beach week, like spring break in Panama City and, those kind of places. We could come up with some great shirts. We just couldn't let anybody know we have anything to do with them.
Like...
Nope, not like anything.
Like how it always says Salt Life, but that's not what it looks like. I'm going to make one that's what it looks like. You know what I'm saying?
It says what you think it looks
like. It says Salt Life.
But it looks like it says.
It says Salt Life.
But you're going to make one that looks like it says Salt Life.
But it don't say Salt Life. Because every time I tell people, that says Salt Life. And they're like, yeah. And I'll say, but what did you think? Oh, well, I for sure thought it said. And then they'll say what they thought it said. So I'm going to make a shirt that says that.
Maybe
and I'm going to give it to Suze Patrick to wear. All right, today is We're Here For You Wednesday, and we actually do have some questions. Where did they go? Where did they go?
While Melissa is pulling those questions up, would you do us a favor? Would you hit the little like button, the little thumbs up button? I want to see that number go. Also, we'd love, if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button so you'll be notified and you'll see Melissa more in your YouTube channel.
That's terrifying.
YouTube.
Thank you for the one person who hit that like button.
Also, be sure to share. Let people know there's some idiots on at 9 o'clock every morning. You're going to have to watch this train wreck.
Condense! Condense is what I was trying to say, not liquefy. Condense. Okay, whatever. Y'all, I can't host a show, be entertainment, be the beauty that I am, and still get it all right, okay? Here we go. Hi, we are about to go to New York in a couple of days. It's my first time going.
You know what I've heard? If they can make it there.
I feel like they could make it anywhere. They could literally go to Idaho after this and make it.
So
they could go to Denver.
This is a great.
They could go to Aspen.
This is a great trip
and make it.
You'll know where.
I think if you went to New York and you made it there, you could probably go to where Beaver Dam and make it.
But here's the question:
could you make it in Wichita Falls?
You could. But here's the question that most people don't ask.
What's that?
But.
I'm going to ask it after you say it. I'm going to ask it.
But if you can't make it there, you can make it.
Okay, I'm going to ask the question because you said a lot of people don't ask it, so I'm going to ask it just the way you just asked it. Which was this?
You knew mine.
But if you don't make it there, what is?
That was a Nick Miller.
What
is?
No, it's not a show scene. It's just us being idiots. They're like, you need to liquefy, Melissa. Okay. It is this family's first time going to New York. They would like to know, what are the must-sees? Also, they want to know, what are the things to avoid? And then the last question is, I was wondering, since you've been on a horse carriage ride in Central Park, would you say that we should do that or walk around Central Park? First of all, this person clearly doesn't know me very well because I'm never going to choose to walk around anywhere, okay? I'd like to go see Yellowstone. I hope they have a horse and carriage when I go. Where I'm going to get on a little track.
I would say the things to avoid would be murders, robberies.
You can't say that, David. There's an algorithm that's going to... You should have said red down. Red room. You should have said red room.
No. Somebody said avoid Times Square. I would definitely not avoid Times Square. Is it crazy? Is it crowded? Absolutely. But I don't feel like you can go to New York
and not see Times Square.
Go to Times Square.
Plus, you have to be in Times Square because it is like you're in a, it looked like I was in a cartoon.
Yeah.
It's just so big and so massive. I mean, it's Times Square. If you've never been in New York, you gotta see Times Square. Yeah. Who said don't go to Times Square? I'm gonna punch you in the nose.
And really, even like at 1 o'clock in the morning, it has the exact same feel. Mm-hmm. It's not like, you know. So you have to go to
you have to go to Times Square. You I'm gonna tell you this. I've been 3 times and I've never seen the Statue of Liberty, and I'm okay with that. I don't like historical things though. Like I don't even know if she's historical. I'll tell you this. I think Fievel the mouse had something to do with her.
Who?
Fievel the mouse. Remember The Mouse Comes to America? No.
That was Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall that came to America.
David.
You've seen the Statue of Liberty, like flying in.
Oh, for sure, Serendipity. Oh, you got to go to Serendipity. Yes, I love Serendipity. Love, love, love it.
Someone said the 9/11 Museum. I've heard it's incredible. I personally have not seen that. I would love to. I would think that would be time well spent. Yes, I do think if you like musicals or Broadway, if you like it even a little, or even if you sort of don't, I would still say you need to go see something. There is a big place. There's a couple of these, but there's a big one in Times Square, close to a lot of the theaters. It's just Tix, isn't it? Tix. But you can get kind of last minute tickets to things, and so you can save money because some of them are pretty expensive. There's a great Italian restaurant right there too called Carmine's. But what about the place you and Remy went and you loved it? We may have been there too, but I just remember you saying Remy loved it.
I don't remember.
Were the waiters sing or?
Oh, it's real kitschy. You know, like it's really touristy, but I loved it. It's all the Broadway actors and actresses that have to wait tables during the day. They work there and they sing the whole time. I don't remember what it's called. It's easy to look up. A Broadway diner or something like that.
I would say back to the.
I will say this: the Times Square tree, the Rockefeller Center tree, was lit up last night because they showed it on the Today Show this morning.
No, it's tonight. The lighting is tonight.
Well, then why did they show it this morning? There's the tree, and it was all lit.
Well, she literally said it looks a lot different without the 50,000 lights on it or something like that. Tonight is the lighting of the rock.
Maybe they were showing us last year's.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I'm just going to tell you this. I went in December several years ago, and it was freezing cold. And I had to stop on the side of the road and get a bigger jacket and a fur hoodie. I looked like a fur hat. I looked like Oksana Bayul from Russia, the figure skater. Okay,
like Furby.
It was very, very cold, and you could not get even close to Rockefeller Center tree or skating. It was pandemonium. Okay, but I think pedicabs are fun. They're super easy to get. They're less expensive. Do pedicabs a lot. Otherwise, you're walking.
If you can find a rickshaw, those aren't as.
I like a good rickshaw.
Those aren't as a plenty. But back to the Central Park, I would do a carriage ride.
100%.
You get to get in there. You get to bundled up. I will say, I don't really like to. You know, they always have like blankets there. I'm not big on using those blankets, but You'll get to see more of it, riding in the car. I mean, that's a very cool experience. If that doesn't work out, just, make your Uber driver or cab driver drive you through there so you
That's
get
not
to see
even
more of it.
possible. Central Park, that's not even possible, baby. You can't do that.
You can drive through part of it.
Part of it, but there's parts of Central Park that you can't get to unless you're walking or by horse and carriage. Those are the only two ways. And your carriage rider will know all the places to go. So that just makes the absolute most sense. And then do Serendipity 3. Serendipity 3 is what it's called. Do that
it's
one.
3? Sure.
Do that one. And it's really, really great.
I'm trying to think. It's been a while since I've been several times, but it's been a while since I've been.
Yeah. Somebody asked me the other day, Chris Simmons called me and said, what should we do in Nashville? I said, Chris, I haven't lived there in 16 years almost, buddy. It's completely different. I have no idea.
Do you know what I actually liked as a kid? Yes, I was a nerd. But I liked when we went to a city and we did a little bus tour or something, kind of right when we got there, where they drove us around and said, this is so-and-so, whatever, because they're going to show, because especially New York, you can walk right by something and have no idea what you just walked by, but they'll kind of tell you where it's at. Plus, if something looks really interesting, if you do that early on in the trip, then you can go back and check it out more. So,
and always pay attention to who you're walking by, because you might walk by Hugh Jackman and you never would have known it. Like when we went to LA, I thought I saw Chris Pine, and I was like, kids, it's Chris Pine, it's Chris Pine. But as I got closer, it was just a chubby kid with glasses. And
that's actually...
And it didn't look anything like him. But I have a problem with my eyes. So just pay attention. Pay attention when you're in New York. Pay more attention when you're in LA. All right. This question came in, and I loved it because it's written by a man, and men don't play. Okay? They got a question, they're going to get it out in 7 words or less. You give a woman the ability to ask us a question, we'll be here till next week. But a man, this is what he says. Question for David. Soundbar or surround sound system with Bose speaker? The end. Now that's how you ask a question.
I don't even think it's a question if cost is taken out. If cost is not
an issue,
then absolutely true surround sound.
He liquefied that question.
Yeah. Now that can get pretty pricey, and you want to do it. You've got to what do they call it? You got to fish the walls so it's hidden. You don't want stuff. You don't want stuff seen. You don't want it to look tacky when it's done, and you also want to have it installed by someone that knows what they're doing. You don't want to have an amazing system and they didn't put the array up right and it doesn't do what it's supposed to be doing. So
that said, there's our soundbar.
There's our soundbar.
So what could we afford? There's our soundbar. I'll tell you this, if it's I can't watch anything at Janet and Jeremy's house. They have this massively big, beautiful house and this big TV hanging on their wall. And you press play and it's like this. Because they will not get a sound bar. And the only reason he won't get a sound bar is because I said, I hate your TV sound. You need to get a sound bar. And now he refuses to get one. So Janet can't understand a single thing she hears on the TV. Get a dadgum sound bar if you have a big room. Sound bars are great. I love that sound bar.
Oh, and sound
love them.
They can do great. Now, I'll tell you a place that had amazing sound. It doesn't now just because we took the console part out, but we were here when our little house was being built. And so we actually put surround sound in there. The little house is like 800 square feet, and the living room area has surround sound, and that sounded amazing.
So we don't have it here, so we use a sound bar. But at my parents' house, they of course have surround sound, and I'm like, like when you're watching Jurassic Park, you're like, oh God. And it's great.
I don't want to say this person's name because we've said we're not going to say names, but the person who sent in that question, I'm seeing what's under your name in your signature. Could you?
You can say.
Oh, just the back half?
They do not care if you say their name.
But we've said we're not going to say names.
Okay.
We're not going to say names unless it says Say my name, say my name. Anyway, you know who you are. Hey, send us an email with all the information about, that little thing on your signature, because someone in the house is doing that, and we'd love all the information we could get, because we're just making it up right now.
I can't imagine that being more confusing. These people own a pet sitting business. Remy's been doing some pet sitting. Could y'all send us some information on things that she should for sure be doing? Thank you.
Or pricing. The more
David, you got to learn to liquefy, baby. You've got to learn to liquefy. Also, it was Fievel Mouskowitz, and the movie was called An American Tale, and he ran up the Statue of Liberty. I assume that at some point he must have helped build her. I don't know where she came from, or I think she was on Hitch. I think they talked about the Statue of Liberty on Hitch. That's as much as I know.
Is he, as he's going to the statue, is he going, I'm coming home, I'm coming home?
Boy, you really did take a pill. It's messed you up. You ain't
I'm
doing good.
I'm upside
You're
down.
not doing good today.
And the caffeine's not helping either.
You're not doing good. You're not your best self. I'm gonna tell you that right now. All right, everybody. We have kept you on here 1 minute and 5 seconds. Far too late. Far too late. So we're gonna let you go. Stop doing that.
Sorry.
Doesn't matter how many times you do it. You're as white as.
Sorry.
You're as white as I can't even. Oh my God, he ain't right today. All right, I love y'all. Have a great day. Tomorrow's Thursday Things. A couple people have sent something in. We're ready to show you our favorites. Bye, y'all.